Sewage treatment. Wastewater treatment. The purpose of wastewater treatment is to remove the contaminant from the water so that the treated water can meet the acceptable quality standard. There are many methods of wastewater treatment which depends on the composition of wastewater and required quality for the treated water. Treatment processes are broadly classified as physical, chemical and biological treatments. Physical treatment methods utilizes physical separation of pollutant such as by filtration. Chemical treatment methods utilizes chemical characteristics of pollutants for purification, example coagulation. Biological treatment methods utilizes biological characteristics of pollutants such as bacteria, viruses by purification. Other methods includes to reduce the strength of the sewage, to make waste water less offensive, to prevent public health from toxic effect of pollutant, to conserve the nature. Steps of sewage treatment process. Preliminary treatment of wastewater. The main objective of preliminary treatment is to remove the gross solids such as plastics, clothes, cans, dead body of the animals, etc., grits, fats from the wastewater. Screening, grit removal, and skimming are the methods of sewage treatment process. Screening. Screening is used to remove the gross solid waste like plastics, clothes, dead animals from the wastewater. For this purpose, wastewater is passed through a metal screen which consists of a vertical or inclined steel vase usually set 5 cm apart. This removes the gross solids which are disposed by burning or composting. Grit removal. Grits are small, non-biodegradable particles which are heavier than suspended organic matters. Grits are removed by carefully regulating the flow of velocity of sewage in grit removal tank. The next comes the skimming. Skimming is the process of removal of fatty and oily material from the sewage. In this method, the sewage is placed in a skimming tank and it is aerated from the bottom so that the fats and oils are collected at the top of the liquid, which are then removed by the skimming process. Primary treatment of the wastewater. After removal of gross solids, grits, and fats, the next step in the treatment is removal of remaining suspended solids as much as possible. The main objective of primary treatment is to reduce the strength of sewage by removing suspended materials. Sedimentation, mechanical flocculation, chemical flocculation, neutralization are the methods. Sedimentation. Sedimentation tank is used for removal of suspended solids and some organic matters. There are different types of sedimentation tank. The most common example is rectangular horizontal flow tank. In this tank, sewage flow very slowly, that is 1 to 2 feet per minute, such that the solids present in the wastewater settle at the bottom. Settled solids are periodically removed by the sludge scraper. This technique removes about 90% of the suspended solids and about 40% of the organic matters from the sewage. Mechanical flocculation. In this method, sewage is placed in a flocculation tank, then sewage is rotated at a speed of 0.43 meter per second with the help of rotating paddles. While the sewage rotates in circular motion, small-sized dissolved solids attach to each other to form a large-sized solids and settles at the bottom, which is then removed out. Chemical flocculation. In this method, sewage is placed in coagulation tank and then some precipitating agent such as alum is added. Alum forms precipitate of AlOH thrice. Suspended solids attaches to the precipitate such as the size of precipitate increases gradually to settle down at the bottom. The next step is called the neutralization. So in this step, if sewage is highly acidic or basic, it is neutralized by adding base or acid to facilitate the growth of microorganisms during secondary treatment process. Secondary treatment of wastewater. In secondary treatment, dissolved or colloidal organic matters are present in sewage which are removed by utilizing microorganisms. In these steps, microorganisms utilizes organic matters and converts them into inorganic minerals. Following changes occurs in sewage during secondary treatment. Organic matter, carbon is oxidized into CO2 and H2O. Organic nitrogen compounds are first converted into NH3 and then into NO3. Colloidal matters are coagulated or precipitated out. Thus, the main purpose of the secondary treatment of sewage is to reduce the BOD level. Various techniques are used in secondary treatment of sewage. Some of them are trickling filter, oxidation ditch, activated sludge system, and septic tank. Trickling filter. Trickling filter consists of filtering bed, spraying arm, and water collecting chamber. Filtering bed consists of well-graded gravel, broken stone of size 40 to 150 mm in diameter. Effluent or sewage from the primary treatment tank is sprayed uniformly over the filter bed. During filtration, a gelatinous layer of bacteria, algae, protozoa, and some fungi is produced on the surface of the filter bed, which is called the zooglial layer. As the water trickles through the filter bed, organic matter present in it are oxidized by microorganisms of zooglial layer. Although trickling filter is classified as aeration process of sewage treatment, which is called the facultative system. It is because aerobic bacteria lies on the top of the filter bed, whereas the anaerobic bacteria lies in the middle or the bottom of the filter bed. Trickling filter can reduce the biological oxygen demand of sewage by about 65 to 85% depending on the rate of filtration. Oxidation ditch. Oxidation ditch consists of a circular canal with an inlet and an outlet. It is agitated with the help of a mechanical rotator and then left for a period of about 12 to 24 hours. So the microorganisms present in the sewage oxidizes the organic matter present in it. The oxidation pond is also known as lagoon or reduced pond or stabilization pond. It is an aerobic method of sewage treatment technique. This is placed in an oxidation pond and left there for about 10 to 40 days. This oxidizes the organic matter present in the sewage, then releases the oxygen by algae during the photosynthesis, which is utilized by microorganisms for oxidation of organic compounds. So, in this process, CO2 and H2O are released, which are utilized by the algae for the photosynthesis process. Some oxygen is also derived from atmosphere for oxidation because oxidation pond system is open system. The oxidation pond remains aerobic during the daytime and first hours of the night. During this period, oxidation of organic compound, aerobic decomposition takes place. During the rest hours of the night condition, it becomes anaerobic and anaerobic decomposition of organic compound takes place. What are all the advantages of the oxidation pond? It is very simple and easy technique. Treated sewage can be utilized for irrigation. Limitations of oxidation tank. Holding time is very long, that is, it holds up to 10 to 40 days. It requires a very large area. It creates bad odor. Furthermore, it may become breeding place for the mosquitoes and other vectors. The next comes the activated sludge system. It consists of aeration tank, settling tank, and sludge return system. The activated sludge or return sludge. It contains a large number of microorganisms and serves as an inoculum of microorganisms. Sewage is continuously aerated for about 6 to 8 hours. Microorganisms oxidizes the organic compound to form CO2, H2O and NO3 etc. After the oxidation process, sewage is passed to the settling tank and left undisturbed for about 2 to 3 hours. This time the sludge settles at the bottom. Most of the sludge is removed and some is returned to the aeration tank for the next round of treatment. By the sludge digestion process, BOD of the sewage is reduced by 5 to 15%. The next comes the septic tank as we all know. This is used for disposal of content of toilet where the sewage system is not available for the disposal. This is prepared under the ground. Sewage along with the toilet content is placed into septic tank where the heavier solid waste settle down to form the sludge, whereas the lighter solids including fats form the layer on top of the sewage called the scum. Organic compounds in sewage is anaerobically digested by anaerobic microorganisms such as methanogenic bacteria. The sludge becomes stable and inoffensive, whereas liquids in sewage percolates into soil from septic tank. The last step is called the tertiary or the final treatment of the wastewater. Tertiary treatment of wastewater is final treatment process in which all the chemical and biological agents are completely removed from the sewage before disposal into the river. The main objectives of tertiary treatment process are removal of suspended solids, removal of dissolved solids like salts, removal of nitrate and phosphate, and killing of microorganisms. The final treatment process includes the removal of suspended solids. So these are done by two methods which are called the microstraining method. In this method, the sewage is placed in the rotating drum filter of pore size 24 to 35 mm and then the drum is rotated. So during rotation, clear water comes out of the drum and suspended solids remains inside the drum. The next method is called the chemical coagulation and filtration method. In this method, the precipitating agent such as alum is added in the sewage so that the adsorption takes place in the surface of the precipitate. Then they are separated by filtration method. The next step includes the removal of dissolved solids like salts. Various techniques are used for this purpose such as adsorption by activated carbon and reverse osmosis. Adsorption by activated carbon. Dissolved solids can be removed by filtering the water through filter containing activated carbon particle. Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis removes dissolved solids like sodium chloride and microbial cells. The next step is called the removal of nitrate and the phosphate. Nitrate and phosphate should be removed from the sewage before the disposal, which causes the eutrophication. At first, the sewage is placed in the tank containing nitrifying bacteria. These bacteria converts ammonium salt into nitrate. Then the sewage is placed in the secondary tank containing denitrifying bacteria. So these bacteria converts nitrate to nitrogen gas that leaves the sewage. Phosphate is also removed by bacteria by microbial assimilation process as we saw in the earlier slide. The last and the final step is called the killing of microorganisms. Finally, microorganisms in the sewage are killed by disinfections like chlorination process. Thank you.